it's Ange, and this week it is a let's explore slash time to talk, and yeah, it's Shamima Begum. So, there's been a bit of controversy and a bit of debate about whether she should be allowed back in the country. Now, opinion polls, something like 90% of the country doesn't believe that she should be let back in. I may have just made that number up, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw on Peston this week. I am in the minority who think she should be allowed back in. Let me rewind and explain. So, how does a 15-year-old girl who, from all accounts, is very well educated and her family wasn't radical Muslims, end up being radicalised and by ISIS or ISIL or whatever they're calling themselves these days, and end up on a plane to Syria? Wouldn't it be good to know so we can prevent that from happening again? But the only way we're going to find out is by asking them. We can't ask the other two because they're dead. She's still alive. She has valuable information, you know. And it's not just about how she got radicalised in the first place, which, you know, I think the answer was Twitter. But also, she has information from the ground that may not necessarily be in the hands of the security services already. She will have seen things and met people that can help us fight and have information that can help us fight ISIS/ISIL in future. Now, they might have been wiped out in that area now and they're holding on to one last village, but let's face it, we are trying to fight an ideology and ideas do not fade. You know, we have the likes of the Manchester attacks where people are not just based in that area. So the more information we can gather from the likes of Shamina, you know, the better, surely, because call me a left-wing loony here, but in order to fight an idea you need to have a clear idea of what the idea is, and by having that information it can help us prevent ISIL from popping up and killing more people. And that is without the matter of her child. Now, Savage Javid has said that her newborn child is entitled to British citizenship. The only problem is, how is a newborn getting into the country without his mother? It makes no sense. And the really dangerous thing about her citizenship being revoked is, I mean, technically she is now stateless. Because she's 19 and under 21, technically she could claim her Bangladeshi through her mother citizenship. The only problem is Bangladesh have said no, not happening, forget about it. She is looking into claiming citizenship through her Dutch husband. Not sure how that one's going to work out for her. But yeah, so she's been her citizenship has been revoked. On the news tonight, Jihadi Jack, who did worse, as far as we know, Shamina was not doing the decapitations and the killings. Her crime was going out to Syria, getting married and having kids. But even people in prison are allowed to get married still. So you know, we have no proof that she actually committed any horrific acts other than going out, getting married, losing 2 children and being subjected to the atrocities over there. And don't forget, she will have been brainwashed in a way. So the things that she's coming out with now, we don't know her situation in that camp and who else is there with her. For all we know, she is being forced to say these things still for her own safety and the safety of her own child. Like her child that is still alive. But yeah. So basically we are now in the situation in this country where there is 2 levels of citizenship. Somebody like me with my white British privilege cannot be stripped of citizenship. I was born in this country, my family are from this country. There is nowhere else they can send me. So if they tried to do that, if I was stupid enough to break the law, they could not strip me of my citizenship because they would leave me stateless, which is illegal in like every corner of the, you know, planet. Whereas somebody like Shamima, because her family came from Bangladesh in this case, can be sort of booted out and sent to a place where she's never visited, doesn't know anyone, and barely speaks the language. Now, that is a very dangerous thing in my opinion. And like when you compare her to Jack, who is doing his prison time and, you know, has admitted he did these things, who is the more dangerous person? But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying bring her into the country and let her off scot-free. Hell no. If she comes back into this country, she should have a trial, you know, and do the prison time. She is not going to face justice in Syria because there is no justice system in Syria right now. She is in a camp, you know. The last thing they're thinking of is putting her through a court system. So over here she would at least be useful with information and punished. But yeah, it's just my 2 pence on it. Like, if by bringing her back and putting her in prison, we know where she is. If we leave her to go to Bangladesh or wherever she is going to end up at this point, because like I say, Bangladesh have said, no she ain't, mate, that could be very dangerous. Like, we already know that she's been radicalised. Like, by leaving her out there, like, are we creating the possibility that she becomes more disillusioned with this country and more willing to cross that line from wife to soldier slash killer slash, you know, is she going to become more radicalised, more entrenched in the idea and ideals of what ISIS stood for, and start spreading the hate and the idea further? At least if she's in this country, we can prevent that and potentially save lives, because if she's in this country, we can control who she's talking to, who she has access to, monitor her. If we send her elsewhere and make her somebody else's problem, we don't have that control. It's just a thought. Anyhow, I've been Ange, and I will see you next time. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. I'm already expecting to be flamed for these views, but you know, we're in winter, it'll be used to toast marshmallows, as I used to say back in the LJ days. But yeah, bye.